Here we are. It's me, Brandon Walker, your favorite Mexican, YSM Sports Median, with Daniel Blancas. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good, man. Thanks for having me.
Now, you're a 13-time national amateur champion. You're about to turn pro later this month. You know, you
Yep.
you you made a lot of noise by signing, and you're going to be featured on the new Pro Box. How do you feel about being part of something new and then turning pro? And then, as you mentioned, who are some of the names you got as the broadcasters on the show that are going to be
Some of the
doing it?
broadcasters are Antonio Tarver, Paulie Maldonado, Roy Jones Jr., Juan Manuel Marquez, and I'm just really excited, to be a part of something big like that, something new too. So I feel like it's gonna go good. Like all the attention is gonna be like, oh, what's this new app? What are these new guys doing? What are these new fighters up to? So we definitely got to bring it too, since we're gonna be making some noise.
Now, I want to talk about your how you first got into boxing. Right now, how old are you? 20 or 21?
I'm 20 right now.
And how old were you when you first got into boxing?
When I first started, I was like 8 years old.
And how many amateur fights have you had?
From now to then, shit, like almost 200, I think, about that.
Two other amateur fights.
Yeah,
Now,
almost 200.
I had seen that you were on the 2017 Junior Olympic team with Diego Pacheco. How was that like, and that experience like, and getting to be around those guys, and then seeing them now
Oh
in the
man,
pros?
yeah. It was awesome, man. I was on the team with Diego Pacheco, Alexis Espino, Lorenzo Simpson, Jared Anderson, Richard Torres. So being with all them, man, it was a lot of definitely a lot of fun too. Training with a bunch of guys that were, like just like me, dedicated to the sport always, and now seeing them in the pro ranks is awesome. I'm happy for all of them, and now I'm definitely even happier to start my journey. Because I was with them in the amateurs, and now they're in the pros, and now I'm gonna be joining the pros. So that that definitely feels good.
Who are some of the guys that you grew up watching, and who were like some of your favorite fighters right now?
Some of my favorite fighters right now.
Yes.
Um, yeah, definitely. Of course, Canelo. Of course, Benavidez, David Benavidez, Lomachenko. Man, that footwork is crazy. Um, Terrence Crawford, him too, man. He's a beast. And who else was it? I think the Japanese dude. What's his name?
Oh,
Noah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Inoue,
him. Yeah, him,
yeah,
man.
the
He's
monster.
a monster, bro. Yeah.
Now, you've gotten some comparisons, size wise, and the way you fight to David Benavidez, and I
Hmm.
saw you uh, s- out there with him, and you got to spar with him. How was that like? Somebody that you
Yeah.
know that you idolize, that's one of your favorite fighters.
Oh man. Being able to spar him was that was definitely like a really good experience. I had to take advantage of it because it's not every day you get to spar a two-time world champion, right? So I had to bring my A game. So yeah, I
Now,
definitely learned a lot.
now I was gonna ask you, how do you feel? How do you feel about you seeing Diego Pacheco now working the camp there,
Hmm.
and and you know him? How do you see that? How do you see that fit? And then he has an upcoming fight March 5th. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, hey, that's awesome, man. I had talked to him a little. I told him congratulations on all that. That's definitely something cool, man. I know Jose Benavidez will get him right, and the whole Benavidez team, man, they all train hard. So I'm excited to see him fight.
You being a Canelo fan, you mentioned Canelo's your favorite fighter. Who do you want to see him fight next? There's a lot of mention of Charlo. That seems like it's the biggest possibility. There was the mention
Hmm.
of Makabu, but it seems like that's kind of cooled off. If it's
Yeah.
who would you like to see him fight, and how do you see it going if he fights maybe Charlo?
Him and Charlo, man, that would definitely be a good one too, man. Charlo's a beast. Um, but I feel like eventually, like in the later rounds, Canelo's just gonna like end up breaking him down like he did with Plant.
You just feel like the class will tell over time.
Yeah.
Now, as you mentioned, you had an extended amateur career. Uh, you signed to come onto the pro box. I believe it was with Newhouse
Yep.
is his name.
Yep.
I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, now you're going to be featured on the pro box. You're going to turn pro February 25th, man. Like as I mentioned, how do you feel about that? And do you know who you're fighting as your first opponent and how many rounds it's going to be?
Um. Not yet. We're still working out all those details right now, but I'm really excited. You know, finally, all that sacrifice, all that dedication, all those long days in the gym, they finally led up to this moment. You know, finally having my pro debut, which is some like every boxer dreams of. You know,
And the weight class that you're going to fight at,
I'm gonna be fighting at super middle, so 168.
168.
Yeah.
And for the how would you describe for fans that have never seen you before? How would you describe your fighting style?
My fighting style, I'd say I'm like a boxer puncher, you know. I like to bring it. I always like to fight. I always like to make my fights exciting. But you know, I can switch it up too if I need a box and use my distance. I can use that. If I gotta go in there and look for the fight, I could do that too. So I feel like my style is interesting, you know, to look at and watch.
And how's it been being around some of the guys you met? As you mentioned, it was Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones, and Juan Manuel Marquez are going to be part of the Pro Box series. How has it been meeting them and being able to interact with them?
Oh man, it's awesome, man. They're all, you know, legends in the game. So I try and get as much as advice from them as I can because I see that as a benefit to me. I have those world champions right in front of me, so I can ask them questions, ask them for advice, things like that.
So February 25th, uh, it's going to be a Pro Box, and how many? It's a 4 rounder.
Yeah, 400 start.
We'll definitely be tuning in. Let the fans know where they can catch you on social media.
Yes, sir. Thank you. My Instagram is Daniel.Blancas24, and I'm starting to get into Twitter more too. So that's Daniel Blancas 24. So I would appreciate all that support and thank you.
It was a pleasure chopping it up with you today, man. Thank you so much.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me, Brandon.